I thought I'd like maybe start like a little vlog that's kind of like a back to school vlog, I guess. It's like the end of August and I have some stuff I kind of need to do like before I start back because I did take some holiday off. So I've got some things to sort out and to finish, including like books and stuff. Also I maybe need to get either get the library or maybe order some specific stuff for me, and like renew some stuff. Anyway, like hopefully it will be interesting, but I also kind of thought it would be nice to like try to get into like, you know, back to school energy. I am 28 years old. I kind of was also trying to finish like a bunch of books and things before I started. That's definitely not going to happen, but I might finish like maybe 1 or 2 before I go back. And then I'd also like to kind of make some decisions and plans about how to balance my own personal reading and also the books I'm like acquiring with yeah, my PhD stuff, because I'm not very good at that. And then yeah, I think I've got myself into a bit of a pickle around it, and I think that's silly because it should be enjoyable. I also have some like projects that I'd like to finish, just like in terms of sewing and like making. I think mostly it's a sewing project. I showed a skirt that I was making, like a pleated skirt, in like the video I made with like snippets of summer and stuff, and so I haven't finished that and I'd like to. So I just need to, well basically I'm tacking down the pleats on the inside a little bit more. It doesn't really matter if that doesn't make any sense. And then I also need to finish the skirt, as in like figure out my closures and stuff like that. I haven't quite decided how I want to do that yet, but I think I'll just do poppers, but who knows. Yeah, because I'd love to be able to wear it, you know, as one of my back to school outfits. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'll, you know, check in as and when. In the interest of this back to school vlog, I thought I'd show you some of the books that I'm currently reading, sort of as a way to like show you what I guess I'm kind of trying to finish, or at least I'm trying to decrease the number of books I'm currently reading, whether or not I do a very good job. Also because I did just start a new one, which is this short story collection, For Esme with Love and Squalor by J.D. Salinger, but I'm only going to read 3 of the short stories in this because they're about the Glass family, which is what I'm interested in. I don't really care that much about Salinger's other stuff. No offense to Salinger, but I feel like he gets it because he was obsessed with the Glass family too. So the other books, because that I literally did just start, like literally right now whilst I was like sitting on the floor here. But the other book that I have most recently started is probably this one, The Passion According to Renée Vivian by Maria Masay-Marçal. Yeah, I'd really like to finish this before I kind of get back to PhD stuff, because I think I will enjoy it more, and also it's like I don't want to stop reading it, but yeah. And then another book that I'm currently reading, which I have been reading for a really long time, is After the Death of Don Juan by Sylvia Townsend Warner. This book, let's set a small goal. I'd like to get to page 60 and I'm on page 32. I think I kind of need some momentum, so if I can get to page 60 that feels like maybe more doable, and then hopefully I'll just keep reading. A book that I'd really like to finish because I got behind on my reading of this and I just kind of need to like catch up and read it all, is Seasons of Our Joy, A Modern Guide to the Jewish Holidays by Rabbi Arthur O. Waskow. And yeah, when I'm finished reading it, then I'll be finished reading it. So I'm like, you know, I don't have that much left to go. I'm definitely well over halfway. I also have this book, but this is more of a PhD book, so this will be a book that I'm hoping to like kind of finish off when I start back. But maybe, you know, it's not like super high priority. But yeah, this is Socialist Women, Britain, 1880s to 1920s by June Hannam and Karen Hunt. I also have Equivocal Feminists, the SDF and the Women Question, I think is what it's called, 1880 something to something, by Karen Hunt, which again is like a PhD book and will just be read bits of probably. But I don't really like to read loads of things at once, although I won't, like, I'm fine to read some things at once, but it just does get a bit overwhelming if there's loads and loads. I also have another book that it would be nice to finish before, but actually because I think I've kind of come to this place where when I'm doing like intensive academic work I'm going to be reading like kids books mostly, I'm kind of okay to be reading children's books like at the same time, like that's all fine, that doesn't stress me out very much. But I am currently reading The Ersatz Elevator by Lemony Snicket. Me and Mari, we've been reading the whole of A Series of Unfortunate Events together, so we start the book at the same time, like each new one, and then yeah, we talk about it. I think The Ersatz Elevator is maybe the sixth one, so we've got over halfway to go. Obviously they aren't like super long reads because they are children's books, but yeah. And another book as well that I'm currently reading that is more in the academic vein is The Poetry of Chartism by Mike Sanders, which I just loved when I read it before for my chapter that I was working on. This one is not directly related to my subject matter, so like perhaps I'll have to DNF it, but I kind of don't want to. But we'll see. I'm trying to not get overwhelmed and be chill. This is the jumper that I kind of needed to like, actually I don't know if I talked about it, but yeah, I knit this, and then the other day I sewed in all the ends. I still need to block it, but I'm very happy with the sleeves, especially because this is the first thing that I like self-drafted. I didn't follow a pattern for, so yeah. Okay. I just thought I'd do like a little check-in. I've been having like a rough time lately, I guess, so that's also partially I think why I've like not been wanting to like talk directly to the camera much. I'm like an arachnophobe and I've had some horrible times, and then I think that's snowballed a little bit. But anyway, I'm just here to say that I've read some books. So I read 2 books for my Virago reading, which I'm really happy with, and also they do definitely both fit for Shorty September. I wasn't reading any of these like before, but I have also been trying to get down the number of books I'm currently reading so that I can feel a bit less stressed about starting the books that I do kind of have to. But also I sort of have already started some more books. A couple that are like, you know, recreational, but also just some like uni related stuff. But yeah, so I read Who Was Changed and Who Was Dead by Barbara Comins, which yeah, I won't like review here, but I would say I enjoyed it more than I thought I was gonna. And I also read Loitering with Intent by Muriel Spark, which I absolutely loved. I just thought it was really fantastic and I enjoyed it so much, and it is satirical and funny, but it also felt like it managed to be like deeper and more meaningful than just sort of like ostensible satire. And I just feel like I want to recommend this to lots of people. And then I just finished Seasons of Our Joy, A Modern Guide to the Jewish Holidays by Rabbi Arthur Waskow, and I'm glad to finally have read it. I have been reading it for a year because I was previously reading each festival just before or sometimes during, depending on how long the festival was and how well prepared I was. Yeah, but like reading the chapter on those during the cycle of the year, so I knew it was going to take me a while, but then I also became a little disillusioned and so stopped doing that with the light final 4 festivals in this book for various reasons. So I've been working on finishing this most recently and like catching up, and I do like it. I think it's a good book and like a good kind of overview of lots of stuff, even if I disagree in some places, and there's definitely some political sentiments that I would disagree with, but it does have a really nice focus on like the earth, and that's nice too, and you know, whatever. So anyway, if you're looking for introductory reading on Jewish festivals and observance and history, check it out. So I am still currently reading, but I haven't actually picked it up for a while because I have kind of been focusing on Seasons of Our Joy, the Passion According to Rathney Rivian, which is up there. I also started another book called White on White. I think I'm still reading 8 books, and I actually have also started to read a couple books, like I said, for my like academic stuff. So for example, I read the introduction to Workers' Tales by Michael Rosen, or like it's edited by Michael Rosen and the introduction is by him, which was fun. It's just like a bunch of the socialist short stories that were published in various socialist presses from like the 1880s to the 1920s or whatever. And I have another book that I am going to start that's more useful than his because it's more academic, and it also has, it's not a selection, it has like many more, and I'm looking for some specific stuff, especially women. And unfortunately the Michael Rosen collection, I am sad about this, like I do wish he hadn't done this because I love Michael Rosen, but there isn't a single woman who, okay, there are some anonymous writers, so I suppose we could say that they might be women. There's not really a way to say that yes, women wrote anonymously for the press or not. Like sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. But also we like using pseudonyms, so they also could have done that if they were women too. So I think that, you know, we can be charitable and say that every like written story that Rosen chose is by women, but I think that still leaves like 3 women in the collection, and even then, like, you know, so that's disappointing. But there were women writing these short stories, much less, but that is the same with like the kinds of periodicals that I look at, because women are a marginalised voice, and it's not a women specific press, it's a socialist press. And I also started reading a book that was mentioned in the introduction that I didn't know about, like by Michael Rosen, which is called like the Victorian print culture and the fairy tale, something like that, by Caroline Sumpter or something, and I'm reading one of the chapters from that right now, and it is useful and good. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping to maybe read some of the poetry of Chartism next, because I have made a bit more progress with that, and I would like to read White on White and obviously more of The Passion according to Renée Vivian, and I'm glad that I've got my Virago reading like under my belt, and I could pick up another Virago. I do have this other Muriel Spark, and I kind of do want to pick it up because like I enjoyed Loitering with Intent so much, but at the same time, like obviously, yeah, we'll see. My aim is kind of to like not go higher than 8 as being on my currently reading, and preferably to get it lower, so to maybe get it to I mean ideally I would love to have like 3 or something, but I'm not sure that's gonna happen anytime soon, so maybe we'll say like 5, but yeah. Finished a book like since I last spoke, but I've made a bit of progress, and I also thought like I'm gonna end this kind of soon, so I thought I would maybe just like talk a little bit more. Also, I think I showed you like some new glasses that I got, and I thought because I've never had glasses before and I don't know what I'm doing, that I would get 2 different styles just in case I get like bored of one. That's, you know, a little update. So one of the books I'm reading right now is White on White by Aishagul Savash, which is about a woman who's like an art historian PhD student, is that right? Or just a student, but yeah, she's definitely doing like specific research, and she moves to a city to research Gothic nudes and rents an apartment from a painter who's called Agnes, who lives in another place with her husband but then is like staying there. It's very like quiet, and this far through, so not super far, but it's a pretty short book, so, and the font size is also fairly large, and it's very meditative, and yeah, so it's about these, like it is quite a lot about her research, which is what I'm really enjoying. I haven't picked it up super loads recently, I've just been reading little bits and bobs from it, but I definitely want to finish it before September ends, because I feel like it's a good shorty read and it's an interesting book. I saw this in like a recommendation video by Darren, I think, reads, that were like books to read if you liked The Idiot, and this one sounded very like something I would like. Also, The Intimacies by Katie Kitamura is also in that video, which I loved. If you watched my videos last year, like, you'll know. I'll leave a link to that if you're interested, because it's got a great list of books, I think. I've also been reading Respect the Spindle, Spin Infinite Yarns with One Amazing Tool by Abby Francomont. I got this because I'm getting into spindle spinning, and I wanted to learn more about both technique but also actually history. This is quite like tutorial-y, like it has It's very much made for people to like try and to troubleshoot, which is really nice. But there is also some more kind of like both sort of the physics of them and also some of the history, although less so. And obviously there's lots and lots of different types of spindles. I think most of these are like top well spindles, but there are lots of different types of spindles. This isn't, you know, doesn't cover every single one or anything, but like here's like a Turkish spindle, for example. I think they do talk about class spindles, but anyway, just been like reading bits and bobs. But I'm not counting this as like something I'm currently reading, because this is kind of more like, you know, useful for like my literal crafting, which I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like different, and also I don't want to add another book that I'm currently reading. I haven't read literally any more of The Passion According to Renee Vivian, which is annoying, but I've just not been in the mood. And then I've also kind of been trying to finish more stuff, and then, you know, this is where what happens. I just get into a silly cycle of like trying to decrease how many books I'm reading, so then I concentrate on ones that are quicker to finish. But that means when I finish them, I kind of want to start something new instead of going to ones I'm still reading. My kind of plan is, because I have been listening more to Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, which is, it's not like, you know, super chill and like I completely zone out, because I can't really do that like if, you know, reading, I guess. But it's definitely not something that I'm like close reading or like as kind of like intellectually interested in, like a book like this or like this. So I have kind of been enjoying listening to more of that. I think I'm about 30% through now, so I kind of am hoping to finish that fairly quickly. Then my idea would be not to start something new, finish this, then keep reading this, and then maybe I could give myself a treat and start something new. But that way I'll have gone from 8 books to 7 books that I'm currently reading, kind of. I did also make progress with the chapter that I was reading out of a book about fairy tales in the Victorian press, like, so, actually I think it's the Victorian press in general, but the chapter I read was focused on the socialist press, because that's what my focus is on. So I did make progress with that, so that's great. And now I need to read sort of some introductions to this like collated collection of published fairy stories from various different socialist periodicals, which I think I did mention before. It's not like comprehensive, it's not every single one that was published. I think I kind of made it sound like that, but it isn't. Of course it still had like editorial oversight by Deborah Murch, who's the one who has written the introduction and facilitated it. But yeah, there's like 5 volumes, so there is quite a lot in there. But also, incredibly iconically, I don't think anybody's going to understand this, but I'm going to say it anyway. But one of the newspapers I look at is Justice, which is the organ of the Social Democratic Federation. And they did not publish, at least that was published in this volume of short fiction, a single woman. Like a single woman writer of fiction. Like they didn't publish a single one. William Morris was published by them, but yeah, not a single woman. And you know, perhaps I could find one if I went through every single one. I'm not sure if it's worth doing that. So anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna read the introduction. Basically I'm not reading the specifics yet, because I'm kind of trying to build like a secondary sort of like network or like framework for myself first from what has already been said, to try and figure out like my own angle. And also I'm trying to figure out like the positioning of this fictional work within my previous work on the women's column, and the relationship between the two, or like how they are connected or not connected. That's sort of why I'm doing more like introductory reading right now. I'm not sure if there's anything else I wanted to say. I want to be goth. I watched the film Lisa Frankenstein. Oh yeah, I don't think I talked about this at all. Watched the film Lisa Frankenstein like 10 days ago. I loved it so much. It made me so joyful. Like the first day I watched it 2 times, because I just enjoyed it so much. And now I just really want to be goth. I'm in love with Creature, like the creature in it. I just love him. So yeah, like, talk to me about Lisa Frankenstein if you want, because I'm so here for it. And yeah, like, I definitely need to get some like more cool goth clothes, because I don't really have many like black clothes. As a kid, I was always very like judgmental about people who wore black, because I was like, there's so many more beautiful colours, like why are you only wearing black, blah blah blah. Which means it's a bit difficult for me to let go of that judgmentalness now, because I feel like my young self will be disappointed in me. But at the same time, like, obviously you can be goth and wear like more than just black, but I think you do need some black basics, which I just don't really have. So yeah, but I am kind of planning to maybe like crochet like a nice collar, because I have some like leftover black acrylic for a project I never actually completed, I think. So we'll see. Anyway, that was a bit of an interlude. Yeah, I just think Lisa Frankenstein is like so fun and campy. It's like sweet, but it's also about, you know, like it's also like a slasher film. Like it's just great fun. Great fun all around. Cool. Yeah, who knows if I'll actually talk more to the camera again. Cool. Okay, I think I've chatted randomly about a bunch of stuff, so I'll leave now. I just look so good, okay? I'm literally going to include this in my silly little vlog. Hi, before I finished this vlog, I just thought I would film one final little check-in. So yeah, I did end up finishing White on White by Aysegul Savage, and I thought it was an interesting novel. I won't go super in depth here, but I would say it's very like reflective in multiple different directions, kind of on purpose, and I guess you kind of get that sense too with the title, and it's about kind of like the study and practice of art and art history and stuff being kind of like about life and about relationships, but it's also, yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's a novel that makes you go not necessarily in a negative sense. I think when I first finished it I gave it 4 stars originally, but I actually think it is more like 3.5 stars. I feel like although I'm not like against a quiet novel, it also doesn't have staying power in the way that like I would want like a 4-star book to have. But I did enjoy reading it, and I'm glad I finished it in shorty September. I think I've only read like 3 shorties, but that's okay. I did also finish Crooked Kingdom, but I actually also skipped a chunk of it, but I would say I read about 75%, so I counted it as read because I like skipped a bit to the end, and then I kind of like read up on what happened to people if I didn't know, because I just got kind of bored, like, which is sort of an indictment of the book, so I guess like, yeah. I don't understand how people can give that 5 stars. There's just so many issues, and also like it's not, I don't know. Anyway, and I guess I also wanted to show you this tangle of stuff that I'm knitting. So basically I'm knitting like a really cropped, or at least I think so, I'm making it up, so who knows how it will actually turn out, but like a really cropped sleeves, jumper, cardigan, whatever, with sleeves like the raglan that I already knitted, because I love those sleeves, and I also think I'm gonna do like 2 layers of the sleeves on this. So I've been, yeah, making it up. So this is what it looks like. So this is one sleeve, this is the other sleeve. I decided to, I basically, I knit all of this sleeve so far, which is like up to like here or something, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the other side up to that point so I can like replicate it and then also see, so that I can try it on, so then I can decide how I'm going to finish this bit, you know, like the front of the yoke basically, and the back as well, and like how I might join them and stuff like that. Hopefully I will finish it in time for Halloween, but I will obviously wear it and it's not Halloween too, considering what I've already been wearing and making. I have started reading Shirley. I started reading it like just a couple days before October because I finished a couple books and I wanted to start a new book, and then like it'd be silly to start one that isn't like on the docket, so I was like, I may as well start Shirley, and obviously I'm going to finish it in October and not in September because it's a pretty long book. Let me know how your end of August and September reading and plans got. I actually also did do a bunch of other stuff that I needed to, including like get glasses, but also I finished off the skirt that I wanted to finish. I just mended a dress that had a hole in, so you know, I made some progress. Yeah, okay, well that is everything. Like I said, I wanted to say, yeah, if you want to just leave like an emoji that's related to studying or I don't know, like your time during September, please do. You could put a little bat. And yeah, I will talk to you when I next talk to you. Bye!